I've been informed that you guys want a roll video, and I'm going to make it as quickly as possible so that I can, get back to Iron Banner and working on this other video that I have been putting significantly more effort into. Firstly, and probably what everybody's here for, Felwinter's Lie. What do you want on it? Obviously, it's a shotgun, right? Formula has not changed. It's range and handling. But how do you go about getting the handling, right? Method one is threat detector and full handling stats, right? Handling masterwork, barrel shroud, and then you get your range from accurized rounds and a range weapon mod. Then you can pair that with either opening shot or iron reach. I prefer opening shot over iron reach because opening shot is 5 less range, but it gives a bunch of aim assist and stuff like that, right? So first, 5 out of 5 Felwinter's roll, barrel shroud, handling masterwork, accurized, threat detector, opening shot. This is the pseudo Matador 64 roll. The purpose of this roll is I want a Matador, but I A, can't be fucked to grind Ogre 500 times, or B, actually want the extra damage from an aggressive frame for killing things like rifts, overshields, glaives, etc. Supers even, right? That's the purpose of an aggressive shotgun, is the extra damage. The second way that you get your handling and range is slick draw. Now, what I will say about slick draw rolls is I haven't had as much time to test perfect slick draw rolls as I did to test my threat detector roll, right? I tested like a 3 out of 5 slick draw and it felt pretty good with opening shot. And then I tested a like perfect 5 out of 5 slick draw with iron reach and it felt awful. And then finally last night I got a slick draw opening shot, accurized range masterwork, full choke, and I've been using that. It feels really clean. It hasn't blanked on me. So I don't know what other people are saying. That has felt very good to me. The purpose of using this roll, like I said before, is the extra damage, but you have slick draw, so it's always going to handle exactly the same. So if you're the type of player who prefers consistency and isn't afraid to give up 15% aim assist for that, I would suggest the slick draw roll. Everything else is range unless you get specifically full choke, and then you can put that on it. I honestly didn't notice a difference between full choke and no full choke, but I haven't done any scientific shotgun testing. That is for a later time. I honestly don't think there are any other cope rolls. People have been saying slide shot, you just don't need it. People have been saying smooth bore, it's ass, don't use it. People have been saying some other weird things, threat detector or slick draw, and then base the rest of your stats around that. Next up, Crimil's Dagger. This one's really obvious. Slide shot, precision instrument. Only go Adagio if you have some kind of stupid weapons build that lets you keep your 2-tap. The stat distribution is a little more complex on this hand cannon. I think you always want fluted barrel just because the thing handles like a brick without handling, but after that you can kind of choose what you want. You can either go extended for the AE, you can go accurized for the range, you can go steady rounds and just make it like an absolute stability machine. Your masterwork, again, kind of role specific. I would like to try a max handling roll. Haven't snagged one yet. I would like to try a max range roll. Again, haven't snagged one yet. Slide shot or slideways is a debate you can have with yourself in the dark after you pull 5 3 out of 5s of each and you're malding. Personally, I don't think there's enough of an actual in-game experience difference between the perks to make me choose one over the other to chase. I think I would just accept a 5 out of 5 with either of them. Just be aware with slide shot, it only applies for the first bullet, so your third bullet is going to be a little harder to land, but the first bullet's going to have extra range and stability, so again, really up to you. Next up, the last, actual interesting PvP weapon, in my opinion, everything else is, kind of niche, is going to be Finite Impactor. Now, they didn't update the rolls, so you're still going for the same roll that you were going for in Ash and Iron, which was slideways and moving target because it has such ass aim assist. But, I mean, if you want that roll, go for it. Make sure you have enough stability because that does have low aim assist, so you need high stability to keep as much of that aim assist as possible. I know people have said stuff like Iron Reach. I just don't think there's ever a world where I'm considering Iron Reach on a hand cannon when things like Slide Shot exist on other options in the slot, like Solemn Lie. Okay. Niche picks for PvP that I think are weird as fuck, but they could potentially work. Lethal Abundance For some fucking reason, 360 autos got a buff. They were already fine, but I mean, here we are. I would say make sure you have either Zen Moment or Dynamic Sway. Alternatively, you can go Slice for the class ability nuke everyone Omega Cancer build. I don't think that target lock tips. This site can't simulate it properly. Okay. Assuming that target lock cannot tip TTK from 0 stacks starting an engagement as you usually do, I would say just go for tap the trigger for extra consistency or onslaught, because that's just going to be a direct TTK bump every time you get a kill. The reason you're using this thing is because it has fucking pulse rifle range on an auto rifle that shoots at 400 RPM. So it's basically a little mini scout rifle in your hands. I have been getting lasered by this thing. I haven't tried it myself, but it seems to be a very good weapon. You also have Ganora's Axe, which is just a direct competitor to Inquisitor. It's solar, so you can match mods with your subclass and squeeze out a little extra energy in your armor. Aside from that, I don't really think there's any reason to use it over Inquisitor. Like, yeah, you have Skulking Wolf, but I don't know if that's enough to convince me to use it over Inquisitor when Inquisitor just has better stats. Is that even true? Let me look. Yeah, Inquisitor has 73 base range, 76 base handling, and Ganora's has 67 base range and 65 base handling. So I think they both hit 100, if I'm not mistaken. No, Ganora's doesn't get accurized, which is why it's just objectively worse, I think. Yeah, Ganora's is sitting at like 95 handling, 90 range, which honestly, that's enough, right? I think that little bit of a downside is enough to justify taking a weapon with a better origin trait than the Trials weapon, in my opinion. Alternatively, you just want it to be solar so you can surge match. That's why I kept a roll. I didn't get a 5 out of 5 because that's not what I was target grinding, but you know, it is what it is. The only other interesting things from this event are pulse rifles, and pulse rifles have been solved for a very long time. Just aim assist and handling. You don't need range because lol lamau, pulse rifles have infinite range. And then you've got Occluded Finality, which comes back as, yet again, the sniper with the most aim assist in the game because it's 58 zoom, so it feels like a brick to use, but it absolutely nukes things. It gets Lone Wolf opening shot because, of course, it fucking does. So if you want a sniper that will literally aim for you, Occluded Finality is your guy. I haven't tried Bite of the Fox since like year 1, so I'm not going to make any recommendations other than like standard sniper. Yeah, you probably want snapshot and opening shot, who fucking thought? But its rolls don't look all that interesting to me. I guess it gets Iron Gaze, like maybe try that out. But I mean, that's in the same slot as opening shot. So yeah, I'm not going to make any direct recommendations there. Claws of the Wolf, Pulse Rifle, Reg Husk's Pledge. People have talked this thing to death. It's just an energy chroma rush. Spec it like you would spec an energy chroma rush. The last thing I will say is if you have a 3 or 4 out of 5 and you're comparing between 3 or 4 out of 5 rolls, consider the stats with the most impact, right? If you're using a shotgun, what is the most impactful stat? It's not range, it's handling. If your shotgun has 10 handling, it's going to feel like ass. It doesn't matter how much range it has, you're going to feel like shit using it. So if you have a gun with a little bit less range, a little more handling, use that. Specifically with Felwinters. If you're talking Crimils or Multi-Mach, I didn't even talk about Multi-Mach. If you have a gun with good range, then you can consider other stats, other comfort stats. Handling is important, yeah, but if you're getting outranged on every single angle, it doesn't really matter if your gun is handling really fast. On Multi-Mach specifically, I don't even like this thing on controller. I think it is just worse than Unending Tempest because it has like horrid recoil, so that's just my take on it. I'm going to try a roll with like giga boosted stability and see if I like that. Maybe that'll make it better, but I'm just not a Multi-Mach fan right now. Maybe it'll win me back after I try out like a giga boosted stability roll. Don't have that yet. And that is your Iron Banner video. I'm not going to talk about fusion rifles because I fucking hate fusion rifles and I don't want anybody having knowledge on them, and I want everybody who is actively using them to perish in a deep pit. So that's been me. That's the Iron Banner video. I'm going to cut this down as short as possible. And I don't know, you guys can watch some like Iron Banner 7th columns in the background or something. And then I'm going to go back to actually grinding Iron Banner. I'm going to try and get a full range slick draw roll to see if that's good. And the only thing else that I care about really is Crimils. And so I'll be trying to get a like more 5 out of 5 than the roll I already have. You guys good luck in your grind if you are continuing to grind. Alternatively, good luck trimming out your vault if you are just using this video as a last minute. I have a bunch of shit in my vault and I want to trim it down. Christ is king. I'm out. Subscribe. Wrong order. Fuck off.